No amount of money justifies subjecting our children to sexual abuse. No amount of money justifies sextortion of children on these platforms. I don't care what Facebook's market cap is today or tomorrow. I don't care how much money Google makes next quarter. It does not justify the degradation of American children. Not now, not ever. And this body has a moral obligation to stand for that principle and to vindicate it for every parent and every child in America. It is why we are here.
The room grew quiet as a message was delivered that cut through politics and profit alike. Senator Josh Hawley stood firm, drawing a clear moral line on an issue that affects every family. This was not a debate about technology or market value, but about the safety of children online. With unflinching clarity, he rejected the idea that corporate earnings could ever excuse harm to minors. His words carried the weight of urgency, backed by data, testimony, and lived realities.
No amount of money justifies subjecting our children to sexual abuse. No amount of money justifies sextortion of children on these platforms. I don't care what Facebook's market cap is today or tomorrow. I don't care how much money Google makes next quarter. It does not justify the degradation of American children. Not now, not ever. And this body has a moral obligation to stand for that principle and to vindicate it for every parent and every child in America. It is why we are here. It is our obligation and our responsibility, and that's what this bill does. This is a very simple bill, as Senator Durbin described. It simply allows the victims of sex abuse material or their parents to get into court and to make their case against these companies. And it is not unfair to the companies. The companies are held to a very simple standard. Did they knowingly or recklessly host this content? Now, let me just say this. We all know that these companies will deploy algorithms to the end of the earth in order to target our kids, in order to advertise to our kids. They know every detail, every scintilla of action that occurs on their platforms. They know about it because they're making money off of it. And yet when we bring them before this body and put them under oath, the executives of these companies say, oh, we couldn't possibly get rid of all the CSAM, all the sex abuse material. We just don't have the technology for it. Oh, yes, they do. They do. But they don't want to root out the CSAM because they are making money on it, because sex material online drives engagement online, which drives more eyeballs online, which drives advertising dollars online, and that's what they care most about. The premise of this bill is very simple. It is simply this, that our children are not safe online. And I know that because the statistics tell the story. Just looking at the number of reports of child sex abuse material online, the last year for which we have full data, the number of images, sexually abusive images reported online surged to 104 million. Think about that. 104 million reported sexually abusive images. That is up from nearly 450,000 as early as 2004. In the space of 20 years, we have seen an explosion of sexual abuse material online. The data does not lie. Our children are not safe. But I also know it because whistleblowers tell us. The experts from these companies tell us the truth. I'll never forget sitting in the Senate Judiciary Committee and listening to whistleblowers from Meta talk about the steps their company had taken to target their products towards children. And I asked one of these whistleblowers, how many kids who come to your platform would you estimate are exposed to child sex abuse material? She thought for a moment, and then she said, I would say 100%. I said, wait a minute, 100%, 100%? She said, every child who gets on a Meta platform, whether it's virtual reality, whether it is Instagram, whether it is Facebook itself, every child who is on that platform for any length of time will be exposed to child sex abuse material. Every single child.
What followed was a call for accountability that no parent, policymaker, or platform could afford to ignore. Senator Hawley's stance stands out as a rare moment where moral clarity outweighs corporate influence and political convenience. By refusing to excuse harm to children in the name of profit, he centers the conversation on responsibility rather than revenue. His argument acknowledges what many families already know, that unchecked digital spaces have failed to protect the most vulnerable. Instead of accepting empty assurances from powerful companies, he pushes for accountability